While the following footage is highly intense, it doesn't show anyone being physically harmed or injured. On November 21st, 2023 at approximately 8:35 p.m., a man clad in dark clothing strolls through the Walmart's entrance unnoticed. He has a camouflage backpack slung over his shoulder and a firearm lowered at his side. Moments from now, he will execute a diabolical act of violence.
Welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel.
City boy! City boy!
Look at your screen real quick, man. Look at your screen real quick. Frightening. This is something I think about on the regular basis when I go to grocery stores, because I do live in Colorado, and y'all know what happened at the King Soopers in Boulder. If you don't, you can look it up online. I think about this stuff a lot. Yeah. I have my concealed carry license. But when you see someone with that and you conceal carry, you know, it's still like, they got a little bit of the upper hand. Let's just keep it real. Damn. This is wild. This title is Shoppers Realize They're Next to a Mass. You know the rest. Shooter. Yep. I'll probably title it Shoppers Stand Next to a Mass. Shooter. But we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. I've never seen this. This is from a body cam footage channel, and I'm here for it. So we're going to rock, y'all. If you want to support the channel, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you don't know who I am, I'm Black Pegasus. I'm a rapper, man, from the hood. I'm playing, man, but I am a rapper, underground hip-hop rapper. But I have some other channels on here. I put out music. I got a popular music reaction channel, so y'all can check that out. Link in the description. But let's go see what's going on, man. That's just frightening. I saw, you know what? I'll talk about it in the middle of this video during 2020. Yeah, we'll talk about it. But all right, shoppers realize they're next to a mass.
While the following footage is highly intense, it doesn't show anyone being physically harmed or injured. On November 21st, 2023 at approximately 8:35 p.m., a man clad in dark clothing strolls through the Walmart's entrance unnoticed. He has a camouflage backpack slung over his shoulder and a firearm lowered at his side.
This is during Christmas, too.
Moments from now, he will execute a diabolical act of violence against unsuspecting shoppers. Just ahead of him, a pair of shoppers sort through holiday-themed products before the suspect turns toward them and points his finger. Though the man has not yet acted on his atrocious plan, a 911 operator soon receives an unsettling phone call. The following footage has mostly never been seen before.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Hey, Walmart in Beaver Creek.
Okay, what's going on?
There's a dude that walked in here with a rifle.
There's someone that came in the Walmart with a gun.
Yep, with a rifle.
Suddenly, the conversation devolves into a frenzied panic.
What was he wearing?
Like a type of fatigue pants.
Wearing what pants?
He's shooting.
He's shooting?
He's shooting. He just shot. He's shooting.
Sir, I can't hear anything. What's going on? Sir.
Go.
Moments later, a flood of frightened calls crashes into emergency services.
There's a dude shooting in the store. Me and my fiance.
I'll be your 3 units to find a Walmart. It is an active shooter. Okay, what's going on? What do you see?
Bruh, my heart is racing right now. I'm freaking out. Damn.
Me and my fiance, everybody took off running outside, but me and my fiance was in the cereal aisle.
Do you know if anyone shot?
No, but dude walked in. I thought he had a BB gun, and he looked at me, said hi, and kept walking. But I hear him talking.
Okay, do you...
ladies. So out of breath, we just ran.
While some people manage to escape the store, others are not so lucky.
We're coming, honey, we're coming. I want you to get somewhere safe and do not engage with anybody. Just stay where you are until we get help there, okay? Where do we go? We're coming, okay? Just stay somewhere safe. Don't move, okay? Are you in Walmart or are you outside?
I'm inside of Walmart. I'm in Subway. I'm dug down behind the tables.
Okay.
Shoot me here.
Okay, do you know if anybody's been shot?
No, everybody's running out the door. I'm up under the table. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, stay under the table for me, okay? Everybody's getting there, okay? Go ahead. They're all coming, okay? Stay where you are. Do not move. Do not make any noise, okay?
As the calls continue,
this is my worst nightmare in the sense that something like this happens and I'm with my wife and kids, and you know, you just got to get them to that exit. You got to get to the back exit. There's not typically, it's hard to see side exits, and I'm thinking of a grocery store right now, but you know, typically in the middle of a building there's an exit, like if you go to the middle of the building to the very back, there's like a employee entrance only, and there's exits through there. Sometimes how big the building is, there's side exits, but typically not because of thievery and stuff. So Oh, man. This is rough. This is crazy. All right, let's see where this goes.
To pour in, dozens of officers race to the scene to rescue the victims and capture the shooter before it's too late.
Unit deploying on code 3 and is an active shooter in the cereal section of the store.
13837.
As police raid the building, nothing prepares them for the gruesome scene inside. The officers pair off and begin clearing the outer sections of the store with extreme caution, aware that the shooter is inside and heavily armed.
When they say gruesome scene, you would think that's alleging that people have been shot, but I don't think that happens because of what they said at the beginning of this video. Anyways, we watched the police officers go in here like damn champs and heroes, and big shout out to the police officers that got to run into danger. You know, they get such a bad rap in today's society, but they really hold things together. And yes, there are always going to be some bad apples that ruin it for the rest. But look at this. This is another exemplary example of, you know, them just rushing into danger and putting their life, their family to the side to protect others.
Police department, anybody back here? Anybody on? Stay where you are, put your hands up.
Keep your hands up so we can see them. All right, you see me? Right here. Follow me. Yes. Stay on us. Go. Stay with us.
That's happened. They came into the exit, the back exit, it looks like.
You good on this pace?
Good.
Yep.
Everybody here?
How many of you are there? 4. All right.
Deep inside the Walmart store, surveillance footage shows the shooter calmly moving through the aisles, with some shoppers desperately escaping his path. However, others don't seem to realize the tremendous danger they're in. Police later identified the shooter as 20-year-old Benjamin Jones. When his younger brother and sister are later interviewed by detectives, they are just as shocked as anyone else.
I'm sure he would say a lot of stuff, but I wouldn't have in a million years thought he was going to do something like this. But he was getting to that age where he wanted to go out and do things for himself. He wanted to be independent. But every time he tried, he would get stopped. He wanted to join the army, but then he had some mental health issues that they denied him access for because he had to see a hospital or whatever.
He always cared about our animals. He always cared about us as people. He was just a very, very caring person. No part of me would have ever thought that he was capable of hurting other people. Not like this, at least.
Despite their surprise at learning what their brother is capable of, Benjamin's family will soon reveal several startling ideas that possibly motivated his violent actions.
Interesting. The one thing I wanted to say is I know from a very personal lived experience, someone very close to us was, kind of raised in a family that was, military, really looked up to, his pops, and he tried to get into the military. And he was not accepted because of, I don't remember what the issue was, but he wasn't accepted. He went into a downward spiral and got it crazy into alcohol and stuff like that. Since then, he bounced back. But I have seen this type of thing where people just spiral and they go to the darkest places. And I saw that firsthand. Well, not this dark, right? But I saw it firsthand with this person I'm speaking of, spiraling into a very dark place with alcoholism. And it all started when he didn't get accepted into the military, and that was kind of his dream to kind of, walk in the footsteps of, family tradition. And sheesh, it's very interesting to hear something very similar right now on this.
At the crime scene, just outside in the store's parking lot, another harrowing call reaches dispatchers, describing a victim with critical injuries.
Are you with the person who shot?
He is bleeding very bad.
Okay.
There's a lot of blood.
Do you still see the shooter?
I'm sorry?
I thought he said at the beginning no one was really harmed or something. Dang.
Still see the shooter?
No, the cops are inside right now.
Okay. All right. Are you with the person that's bleeding?
Dude, we just need somebody here now. She got shot in her head, or she fell and busted her head with something. There's a lot of blood.
While help is on the way, one of the victims takes to Facebook to warn local residents about the brutal attack inside the store.
If you guys know anybody who's at Beaver Creek Walmart right now, call and check on your people. It's literally just shopping for Thanksgiving stuff. And this guy walked right past me with an assault rifle and he started shooting. I don't know it.
That's crazy. Anyways, so this was around Thanksgiving. That's why the Christmas tree was up. Because I was like, I thought it was around Christmas at the beginning, but it's around Thanksgiving.
He shot people, or if people are dead, or what is going on. But I ran. at rent. So if you guys know anybody that's in Walmart right now, call and check on them because he shot like 10 times. He walked right past me getting I was scared. I thought you were inside.
As police clear the building, the twisted reason driving the shooter to commit such a wicked act remains to be uncovered. The situation continues to grow dire as more callers choke the emergency lines, pleading for help.
There's a lot of people out here right now. Okay. It's okay.
The victim, Amanda, had been shopping with her mother when they heard the explosive sounds of gunfire. Realizing the nightmare was real, they immediately fled for the exit, when suddenly the shooter fired a bullet which struck Amanda's head. Somehow, she and her mother made it out to the parking lot before Amanda collapsed.
It's okay. Nobody. You can't touch your head. I'm sorry. You can't touch your head. I have to hold you. I'm sorry. Nobody. I'm okay. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Just sit still. Just sit still. Oh my God, I can't hold her. Like, we are holding her down as much as we can. She's fighting us. What did you say, Tia?
The situation is equally grim inside as officers in the center of the store find more victims to assist.
Down. Aisle 43.
Good?
Ma'am, you okay? Are you hit? You been shot?
Whoop, I got your front.
Negative. It's going to be a drink section. Where have you been shot at, ma'am?
I think in the back.
In the back? Okay, I'm going to check you out real quick, okay? Just stay right there for me, all righty?
Police will soon learn that the victim, Tiara, was shot 7 times. Additionally, her purse and cell phone were later discovered to have bullet holes. As EMTs finally arrive on scene, officers provide an armed guard to ensure they're able to safely provide emergency medical assistance to all victims. As civilians escape the horrifying situation, police urgently gather traumatized witnesses in the parking lot.
Do we have anybody that's injured at all? Nobody is injured, right? Nobody needs any medical attention whatsoever? Everybody's okay? All right, by show of hands, how many people witnessed what took place?
My question is, because I just don't know how this works, you guys. How does this young lady who's been shot 7 times, who covers the medical bill, right? Who covers the medical bill? Like, what is the protocol for something like that? If you don't have health insurance or, like, obviously you have Medicaid, it's just like, cool. Like, they just handle it, I guess. But it's just like, that's an expensive-ass surgery. That's crazy. I hope she survives. I don't even know if she survives, you know? And then some of these folks, you know, they probably don't have life insurance. Like, it's just like, what the is going on, bro? This is insane, man. Holy smokes. You know, they kind of tricked me at the beginning. They're like, nothing happens, and maybe no one passed away during this event. Well, this is crazy.
1238. Keep your hands up so I can see you.
This makes me want to keep all of my... They just crap passed this crazy bill in Colorado where they're pretty much making it extremely hard to get access to AR-15s, rifles, guns. Do you think me watching this makes me want to give up my guns? That's what I don't understand about people that watch stuff like this and be like, oh, yeah, just take my guns. It'll make society better. Bro, I live in America. It's full of gun culture. Y'all are tripping. This makes me want to have, like, some Rambo shit. Like, this is freaky, y'all. This is freaky, bro.
Witness it. Those of you that witnessed it, can you come over here to the left?
Hauntingly, one of the victims later described the shooter's target selection as taking aim at people who were running from him and not the people who were willing to stand there. As officers continue clearing Walmart, they search every possible hiding place, knowing there could be another wounded victim. They'd found the shooter, Benjamin, earlier during a search, but not in a way anyone anticipated.
Police department, please.
The footage says it shows no one being physically harmed. So
I'm clear.
That's what
They discovered 2 women who managed to barricade themselves inside the fitting rooms, terrified of the danger that lurked just outside the door seconds ago.
Hello, police department?
Yes.
Are anybody injured?
Yeah. No.
Any weapons?
No, we don't.
Let me see your hands, please.
We're just
all hands, please.
We're hiding.
How many are you got?
Just me and my sister.
Okay.
We're hiding.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm scared to death.
Okay.
Did they get the guy?
They did. Come on.
Okay.
Ain't that crazy how the cops have to be like, yo, show your fucking hands, B? Even though they're just innocent people hiding, but you got to think like you don't know what the fuck is happening. That's why cops have such a hard job. Right there is a moment people should take because, you know, I'm gonna just keep it real for a second. In Black culture, I don't know where people have gotten to this point, And this ain't just, let's not just say black culture. Let's just say this millennial type of culture, this Gen Z type of culture where they just feel like they can pop off the cops, right? And get an attitude with them. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. Like, this is wild shit. This is wild, man. And it's like, you're like, damn, why are you talking to the old ladies like that? They're just hiding. You did it because that's what needs to be done in this situation for everyone to remain safe. It's crazy, man. It's wild. Anyway.
Despite the chaos and tragedy inflicted by Benjamin's actions, officers eventually rescue all victims and secure the building. This is because of what Benjamin eventually did that turned the case on its head. The first two responding officers, Dylan Zimmerman and Joseph Desjardins, arrived on scene approximately 6 minutes after the shooting began. As their vehicles pull up to the store, their sirens alert Benjamin, who ducks down and scrambles towards the vision center. He quickly pushes past the barrier to hide around a corner, hoping the officers don't notice him. Just as Officer Zimmerman makes his way around the corner of the vision center, the unthinkable happens.
You got him.
Listen to his breathing. This is a this is a very intense situation.
138, shooters down.
Benjamin took his own life mere seconds after the officers entered the building. The overwhelming feeling of what they fought through reflects in their conversations, as some of them take a moment to check with their families and each other.
This went from bull to real in about like 2 seconds. Dude, I was sitting there, I was like, I better slow down. Yeah. I need to get here, but I need to not die.
The FBI would report that based on the evidence collected, including 2 journals Benjamin kept, the attack may have been at least partially inspired by racially motivated violent extremist ideology. According to his family, Benjamin suffered from mental health issues which spiraled after a tumultuous relationship with his girlfriend ended. His family was unaware that he acquired a gun just 2 days before the devastating attack. When detectives later speak with Benjamin's mother, she provides unsettling information about some recent comments her son made.
Did he talk about doing anything like tonight? Did he talk about hurting anybody?
I don't know that he ever said that he would do anything like that. He would just say, like, sometimes that's what people have to do,
With no manifesto found to explain his horrific crime, no one knows what could have possibly caused Benjamin to commit such an unspeakable act. However, while many have speculated about what his true motive was, we may never know for certain. Miraculously, all 4 of the gunshot victims survived their injuries.
I wonder what race the gunshot victims were. Because they alluded to that he had went down this path of extremism, which I never know what is real anymore, because there's also weaponizing the concept of mass shooters, right? Like the evil thing right now, like this is the narrative. And again, I'm going to try to stay neutral here, as neutral as possible. But the narrative is that, they would categorize this as, oh, that was a Trump supporter and he did that, and then, use these narratives to take guns out of people's hands, etc. I'm sure they'd probably use other narratives as well. What happened was absolutely wrong. What happened was absolutely frightening, horrific. And I don't know. Ever since 2020, I've seen more of this. Like in movies, there's this Something Zero movie that dropped on Netflix. And I was like, oh, there's just little propaganda things where they're like literally creating this stereotype and perpetuating these ideas of like, let's say someone who went in the Capitol on J6, that's this. Like they're making all these connections. That's what I'm seeing. But then in real life, I'm like, that's just not what is really happening here. That's just not. So this, you never know. I don't know anything behind this, but I just thought that was unique. I'm like, okay, well, you said this could have been racially motivated, but then you didn't mention, like, because if it was racially motivated, they would have been like, hey, this was racially motivated. He started shooting at black people. He started shooting at Latin people. He started da-da-da-da. But they were just like, he chose not to shoot people who were calm. He chose to shoot people who ran. So what the hell does that mean? I don't know. Anyways, that got my blood flowing, man. That's too early for this. This is like, I don't drink coffee, but that's my coffee for the day. Yikes. The story I was going to say, if you're still sticking around with me, during 2020, after George Floyd, protests started popping up all over the country. And there was a protest in Colorado Springs that I went to. It was kind of like the BLM stuff. And I specifically went to speak about how it is unacceptable to riot. It is unacceptable to loot. It is unacceptable to just go out and have bad behaviors just because you're emotionally distraught or upset about a situation that happened. Now, this is before we knew anything, a little more depth of the George Floyd situation. And so I think everyone the moment it happened, and then the next couple of days, you just had this, you were compelled, like, yo, that it just looked, the optics were so effed up. The whole situation is tragic in general. But again, that's where I went to. I did not go to speak, you know, like, because I already kind of felt something coming down the pipes, especially because it was 2020. We're already dealing with you know what. So I just, you know, went out and spoke my piece. Someone invited me to come down there and speak. I did that. But I do remember in the streets, there was this white kid, and he was just walking the streets. It was like the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, because the protests have gone amok all over. They started burning houses, burning businesses, burning police departments. So there was this white kid, and he was just walking around with his AR-15 just strapped to his back, just on the corner walking around. I remember seeing him and being like, I don't know how to feel about that, because I'm a 2A guy. He's like, so where this dude went wrong, you can't take guns inside of certain stores. Like if it says no gun, you're not supposed to take your gun in as a concealed carry person. And this is what trips me out, because you'll have a place like Walmart or grocery stores that tells you, the citizen, you can't carry a gun, but then a mass blah, blah will run in there with their gun, and now you are naked when it comes to this altercation or this situation. So, you know, I don't know if that Walmart is, you know, no gun, whatever, you know, it's interesting. But again, I remember walking down and, you know, people are protesting, and that kid, I think he was with his homie, but he just had his AR strapped to his back. And I'm wearing a yellow polo just like this, but it's the collar joint. And I have my, because back then I didn't have my concealed, but you could open carry in Colorado. So I had my joint on me speaking at the protest, because I'm just letting people like, yo, no, I'm not the one. But anyways, it is what it is, man. And when I say I'm not the one, I'm not a tough guy. I'm not hard. I'm not a gangster. I don't want those problems. I don't want smoke. I don't want beef with gangsters, cartel members, police officers. I got a life to live. I'm just someone who believes in his right to protect himself and his family, and that's it. Anyways, dang, bro, that was crazy.
City boy, city boy.